Hi everybody, very welcome to Summer with Mentor with me and Patri. I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. Today on the video, guys, we're going to be talking about the new Airbus A321XLR. Is it actually a Boeing 797 killer? Stay tuned.
Wind 31016, Berlin right, Berlin right. Third land, 31 right. Delta 260.
Right guys, so this week is the Paris Airshow, the biggest aviation event of the year. And as always, the manufacturers and the airlines have saved up to be able to give us their biggest news, their biggest new stuff during this airshow. And why do they do this? Well, it's because all of the aviation press and everyone that means anything in the aviation world is gathered in one place at one time. So they get maximum exposure for what they want to say. So what have we seen so far? Well, there's been some really good and surprising news. It started already on the first day, which is when Airbus announced their Airbus A321XLR, stands for extra long range. So the Airbus A321XLR was highly anticipated. The industry had known for it coming for a few years, but no one knew exactly how many orders it would receive. The Airbus XLR is basically an enhancement on the range of the existing 321neo. And what the Airbus A321XLR is doing is it's increased efficiency with about 30% and increased the range with about 15%. So this means that the 321XLR can now travel about 4,700 nautical miles, which means that it can comfortably take passengers between continental Europe and the United States or Japan and Australia, for example. The seating capacity is now between 180 and 220 passengers, depending on configuration, and it can carry about 101 tons. They have achieved this by adding a rear central tank and the possibility of yet another center tank as well. And they have strengthened the landing gear and some other small improvements. But what does the Airbus A321 actually mean for the industry? Well, if you followed my episode that I did about the Boeing 797 previously, you know that what Boeing was aiming for with the 797 is to cater to a segment of the airline industry which is currently only kind of catered to by the Boeing 757 and the Boeing 767. Is the segment between 200 to 260 passengers, more or less, and medium to long haul aircraft. So the Airbus A321XLR actually now comes into the range of medium to long haul, and it can seat 100 or 220 passengers. So it's actually starting to infringe on that segment that the 797 was supposed to cater to. Now, Airbus has said that the A321XLR will be available to the market from 2023. So what about the Boeing NMA, the 797 then? Well, first of all, Boeing has had an absolutely horrible year so far. Now, we're all aware about the 737 MAX, which is their big seller. It's still grounded. We don't know exactly how long it will take until it's actually up in the air again. But on top of that, they've also had problems with their new 777X, which is their flagship product. Now, the problems they've had has been related to the General Electric 90X engine. But because of these problems, they haven't been able to fly the 777X yet, which means that they were hoping to show the 777X off at the Paris Airshow, but they couldn't do that. And as long as they have all of their capacity, all of their manpower, trying to get the 777X into the air, well then there's not much manpower left to focus on the 797. So it's likely that these problems with the 777X is actually delaying the work on the 797. Now, how will they respond to the Airbus A321XLR? Well, it's been a long-standing tradition for Boeing to start a new product with the smallest variant in the product line and then stretch it and come with longer, bigger versions later on. A good example of that is the Boeing 787 that came out with the 787-8 first, followed by the 9 and 10, which are larger products. Because the A321XLR now has the 220 passenger segment, there are some rumors, and I personally believe this as well, that Boeing is going to flip this over and maybe this time announce the bigger version of the 797 first in order to get a little bit of a jump on Airbus. Because remember, when we talked about this, it is thought that when the 797 is announced, it's going to be a wide-body aircraft, that's with 2 aisles. And the reason you want 2 aisles is because it's much quicker to board and disembark a twin-aisle aircraft. It generally means a little bit more space in the cabin. And also, if they go with the stretch version to start with, it's likely that they might be able to squeeze in as many as 270 passengers into the 797, making it 40 to 50 passengers more, taking more passengers than the A321XLR will do. So basically, they are still catering to a segment which is kind of not really catered to at the moment. So that's what I think. I think that Boeing will now look at the Airbus A321XLR and they will adapt the 797 product to make sure that they're still compatible. But Boeing has to be a little bit careful, and they know this, because if they make the 797 too good, too economical, have too good range and too cheap, it's going to start cannibalizing on the Boeing 787 line, because they're also in the same kind of passenger numbers, even though that is a long-haul aircraft and not a medium to long-haul aircraft. But there is a fairly narrow road that Boeing has to walk down in order to make sure that this product is going to be really effective in the segment that they want it to be, but not cannibalizing on their existing products. So, what other news have come out of the Paris Airshow so far then? Well, one of the big news was that American Airlines have actually gone in and ordered the A321XLR. Now, if you remember when I talked about how the 737 MAX came to be, remember that one of the things that pushed Boeing into actually extending the 737 line again was that American Airlines came in and bought some 320s, some Airbus 320s. So that's Boeing's home turf. American Airlines is Boeing territory. So the fact that they are going in and buying the A321XLR is likely also going to push Boeing into doing their absolute best when it comes to developing the 797. Another news, which is actually good news for Boeing for once, is that IAG, which is the ownership group that owns, for example, British Airways, have gone in and bought 200 of the still grounded 737 MAX. Now, this is hugely significant, because what this means is AIG and British Airways showing a huge confidence in Boeing, right? Them going in and buying 200 aircraft that are still grounded is basically saying to Boeing that we believe in you, we believe in the fix that you're about to do, we think that this is a good product, and we have full confidence in the process followed from now on. So it is a huge deal for Boeing. Now guys, if you want to come in and discuss these kind of things in a nice, positive and safe environment, I highly recommend you to get the Mentour Aviation app, okay? There are links to download it down here. It's completely free, and we really want you guys to be in there. The more of you, aviation enthusiasts, actual pilots that are in there, the more vivid and good the discussions will be. So just get the app, go in, create yourself a profile, put a profile picture in there, and start participating in the discussions. It's a lovely community, and you will see that as soon as you download the app. Now, if you want to meet me personally, I will do one of my first meetups ever in Manchester on the 6th of July. So on the 6th of July, I will be at the Pilot Careers live show. And if you want free entrance tickets there, just go into the Mentour Aviation app. I have a forum that's called Meetup. And in there is a code that you can use. Just use that coupon code, put it in before you purchase your ticket, and your ticket will become absolutely for free. So come over there. I would love to meet as many as possible of you guys when I have the chance. And if it is a positive experience, if all of you like the meetup, I will try to do more meetups. I want to go over to the States and meet all of you guys who are over in the US. And I want to go all over the place, because meeting up with you guys is really, really energizing. Okay, it's really fun to do. Have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are. Me and Patchy are going to go and do some barbecue, I think, for the rest of the family. Take care of yourself. See you on the 6th of July, or see you inside of the Mentour Aviation app. Bye-bye.